Hi there, everybody. Good evening to you. Thank you for tuning in and for watching this check of the First Alert forecast from the First Alert desk. I am First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin here to talk about rain chances. That's really the highlight of the forecast. Widespread rain, a period of gloomy weather for about 36 hours. Already those clouds, you can't really see them now that the sun has set, but you can't see any stars tonight. They have thickened up, and already we do have the first few drops of rain falling across North Georgia, north of Metro Atlanta, on up into the mountains of far North Georgia, and this rain will gradually shift southward. While it's not going to amount to too much this evening, could be a little bit of moisture. May have to use the wipers through the evening plans, and you may want to bring that umbrella if you do have dinner plans, especially on the north side, just in case you do have a little bit of moisture. In fact, we'll go ahead and get right to it, take you to First Alert Radar. And we have many folks joining us across many different platforms right now. Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, YouTube TV. We're live on YouTube right now. Atlanta News First, the account to follow, the account we are streaming out on. Also Atlanta News First on Facebook. And of course, also you can stream us at atlantanewsfirst.com, in the Atlanta News First app, and in the First Alert Weather app. And if you are streaming, now what you're looking at, it's radar, and that is a lot of light to moderate rain across East Alabama. Though into North Georgia, not all of this is reaching the ground. Even if it is, it's light, but some of this is evaporating, quite literally. The drops of rain, they're falling out of the clouds. They are there, but that radar scan is several thousand feet up in the air, up in the mountains of North Georgia, and those drops are drying up. They're evaporating before hitting the ground. Now, I still think where you are seeing the green, at least a little bit of a spritz, some raindrops reaching the ground, and possibly enough to use the wipers, wet the pavement just a bit, maybe up in Rabun County, Clayton, some of those sprinkles, and then on up into Canton area, northern Cherokee County, into northern Bartow County, really to the north of Canton and Cartersville, and then Floyd Chattooga County, seeing a more substantial chance that the rain is reaching the ground. Summerville, the Tryon community there in Chattooga County, probably some of that moisture falling from those clouds, making it all the way down to the pavement. And we are having to discuss the comments in a little bit of a different fashion here. I'm watching the Atlanta News First Facebook page feed. Normally, I would pull this up and we'd be able to comment, and I'd show you the page. That's what you're looking at right now. We're having some issues with Chrome this evening, so we're just going to pull out the good old-fashioned iPhone, and I'm going to follow along. If I do miss any, and I may miss because I'm not able to see all the comments at once, you can always reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Cutter Martin, CUTTERMARTIN. Already, though, some comments coming in. Elton Jewell saying he's a new follower. Thanks for watching. Trenton Martin, fist bump right back at you. Ryan, thanks for watching. Also, Bob Dobbin, hello to you. Randy, you're very welcome for the update. Jason is watching. Jamie, Sally Heron, Antoine, hopefully I pronounced your last name correctly, Angie, Ryan, Sharon, Steve Wright. Thank you all for watching. Let's go ahead and take you back to radar. Again, we're watching the northwest side, some of these sprinkles. A little bit of rain shower activity pushing into North Georgia. Most of this is evaporating. It's literally drying up before it gets inside the perimeter. Now, I do think as we get into the 7, the 8, the 9 o'clock hours in particular, some of this moisture will continue to push to the south and east. And the moisture below the clouds, down at the surface where we are enjoying our Sunday evening, the moisture will come up. It'll moisten up, so to speak, the atmosphere, and more of this rain will actually make it to the ground. So at least some sprinkles, but I think some of that is light rain, enough to maybe lightly wet the pavement up there in the mountains of North Georgia. And as I show you the hour-by-hour forecast, this will creep southward through the evening and the overnight hours. Here is the hour-by-hour. Taking you back to now, and a forecast model. This is just one run of one computer model. So just a small little piece of data that we look at, a small little piece and part of the entire tool belt there. But I think it has the right idea. Temperatures 40s and 50s now that the sun has set. Those sprinkles, light rain showers pushing to the south. I-20 corridor, 8, 9, 10 p.m. Maybe enough of a sprinkle, we'll call it, to barely wet the pavement, but not amounting to much. And then tomorrow morning, watch what happens from west to east across North Georgia. First, it'll be Troup and Heard counties, southwest of Metro Atlanta and Georgia, also Cleburne and Randolph counties in Alabama. Rain picks back up. It spreads back in from the west through the morning commute. So I do think there will be some wet roadways, some damp Monday morning commute drives, especially if you live on the northwest side, maybe that long haul drive from Roman to Atlanta. You'll encounter maybe a little bit of rain, and from Carrollton driving to East Alabama, a little bit of rain there down to LaGrange as well. But here we are, 9, 10, 11 a.m. That rain overspreads the metro. It spreads eastward as well. Gainesville, Athens, cashing in on some of the rain, maybe a little break, and then more light to moderate rain as we get into the afternoon and the evening commute. Upper 40s, lower 50s. It'll be chilly enough for a light jacket. Now, if there are some spots that reach, you know, the maybe 60-degree mark, it's going to be a bit of a struggle, but I do think a couple of places have that chance. It'll be Cleburne, Randolph counties in Alabama, in particular, Wedowian points southward, LaGrange, Georgia, kind of the southwestern little corner of the Atlanta News First viewing area. You all may get close to 60 tomorrow afternoon, but notice how Clayton stays in the mid to upper 40s. A little wedge, we'll call it, of chilly air kind of embedded in here with an east wind. We're going to have some chilly air draining down the Appalachian Mountains into North Georgia, metro Atlanta tomorrow. So if you live southwest of town, still cool, but mid to upper 50s. If you live on the northeast side on up into the mountains of northeast Georgia, it will be colder. Temperatures probably staying in the 40s tomorrow afternoon with that light to moderate rain falling. Now, as we go to Monday evening, Monday night, could be a couple of breaks, but watch what happens overnight Monday into Tuesday morning. Notice more oranges, a couple reds on the map, some heavier rain trying to build in particular across the mountains Tuesday morning during that morning drive. And we're going to have to see exactly where this sets up. We know there will be a more substantial round of rain Tuesday morning, in addition to the wet weather that we have Monday morning. But I do think that the chance of heavy rain is going to be greatest Tuesday morning, in particular north side of town, North Metro, Cleburne, Randolph counties in Alabama, on over to Troop Heard counties, probably a lesser chance of the heavy rain, with that greatest chance of heavy rain Tuesday morning being from about Bartow County, Rome, and the Floyd County area, Chattooga County, on up into Hall County, Forsyth County, and points north from there. Hello there, Cindy. Sherry, thank you for watching. Bonnie Little is watching as well on Facebook. Again, just going through the Facebook feeds, watching the commenters come in. And again, I'm having to do so mobily today. Normally, and if you're just now tuning in, maybe you saw that notification that we were live on the in the Atlanta News First, the news app. I am meteorologist Cutter Martin. If this is your first time watching, thank you for tuning in and for checking out the First Alert forecast. Normally, I would kind of peek into the Facebook and the YouTube comments, Facebook in particular. I'd pop up that screen that you're seeing right now. We're having a little bit of an internet issue, so I'm just checking my phone. And with the way that works in the live chat on Facebook, unfortunately, it's a little harder to see all the comments that come in. I may miss a couple. I do apologize. You can always reach out to me, as my name is spelled Cuttermartin. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, of course, any of those. And you can always ask your weather questions any time of day, night, whether it's sunny or we're tracking severe weather, whatever. And not just me, the entire weather team, Ella Dorsey, Rodney Harris, Fred Campagna, Courtney Jacobazi, Jennifer Valdez, all here to keep you updated, social media, and of course, on Atlanta News First. So going ahead and getting back to that hour-by-hour forecast, we'll run it through one more time in case you missed that run through initially. We do have a little bit of moisture out there this evening, lots of clouds, some sprinkles. Right now, dry in the metro, inside 285, no rain. But we do have some sprinkles, a little bit of light rain up in the mountains of North Georgia that will try to work its way southward, though I think some of this is evaporating between the bottom of the clouds and making it down to the surface where you and I are enjoying our Sunday evening, though the atmosphere from the ground up is basically going to moisten up through the evening, and eventually some of this rain will start reaching the ground. So sprinkles, isolated rain shower possible for the dinner plans this evening. So just a heads up, if you're going to look at Christmas lights, maybe that early check tonight, could be a little bit of moisture, especially the north side. But the more substantial rain, it holds off until tomorrow. Temperatures out the door tomorrow morning, I think in the upper 40s to near 50 in many spots. But notice colder Clayton, colder Blairsville, that chilliest of the air up in the mountains of northeast Georgia. More substantial rain building in, but still very light here through the morning commute Monday. But you may need the wipers, may have some wet roads to contend with on a Monday morning commute, so not the best news there. But it's not a deluge, it's not a torrential downpour or anything, just a little bit of moisture around. And then the rain gets a little steadier as we get into the lunch hour Monday. So Monday's just going to be a chilly, a little bit breezy, kind of a wintry looking day with some wet weather off and on through the day. Some of that rain could be a little steadier at times. And we'll get more rounds of rain through the afternoon and the evening. In particular, I-20 corridor and points north. Carrollton, Atlanta, Covington, points north and east from there appear to be favored for rain tomorrow. Whereas, Cleveland, Randolph counties, Alabama, Troop Herd counties in Georgia, the LaGrange area over to Griffin, a little bit drier. I think there's still some rain, and you're still battling some of the showers, some of the wet weather, but a little bit drier down there. And then we see more rain build in Monday night into Tuesday morning. And Tuesday morning in particular is when we have that risk for some heavy rain across North Georgia, in particular the mountains of far North Georgia, Dalton, Blairsville, Rome, Canton, Gainesville, Clayton, kind of that corridor of communities and counties there. That is where the chance of heavy rain will be greatest on our Tuesday morning. Though some of that could creep into the metro, and it is during the morning rush and on through the lunch hour, early afternoon. Also a little warmer Tuesday. Winds switch to a southerly direction, so just as gloomy, but it's a little bit warmer, 60s. In fact, to some places, LaGrange may be pushing 70 Tuesday afternoon despite the clouds and that chance of rain in the forecast. But back to temperatures tomorrow, along with the clouds and the moisture before the southerly winds take hold. We're going to keep it chilly tomorrow with some chilly air draining down the mountain chain into north and northeast Georgia. Gainesville about 50, most of the day spent in the 40s. Atlanta at 53, Athens 52 tomorrow afternoon, 53 in Rome. Noonan 55, again a little warmer, and I do mean just a little bit on the southwest side tomorrow afternoon. So it is going to be chilly across the board, but chilliest up in the mountains of northeast Georgia. James Williams, thumbs up. Thanks for commenting, man, on YouTube. The Atlanta News First, the account to follow. Thank you everyone that has commented in on both YouTube and Facebook, Atlanta News First. If you're watching on another platform, maybe the news app, weather app, AtlantaNewsFirst.com, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick. Great places to watch, but you can ask your weather questions, get some clarification on that forecast if you need it. They're on social media as we kind of continue this weather conversation. So now we'll look at how much rain is going to fall between tonight, tomorrow morning, and Tuesday afternoon when it tapers off. Again, heaviest northwest Georgia, North Georgia, the mountains of northeast Georgia. Widespread wet weather. We're looking at an average of 1 to 2 inches of rain, with a few spots seeing greater than 2 inches. Forecast models have trended just a bit drier for the next 36 hours or so. Models were indicating 4 or 5 inches of rain being a possibility. Dalton, Ellijay areas, for example, now have cut back a little bit, 2-3 inches of rain. And regardless, that's quite a bit of rain, especially this time of year. A lot of the plants, the grass has gone dormant, so a lot of that will run off. Some rises on area rivers, creeks, stuff like that. And the water will drain into roadways. It'll go onto the pavement a little quicker than it normally does, given, if this was summertime and the plants and stuff were soaking in all of that moisture. Atlanta points south, lesser rainfall totals. It's possible Atlanta may not see an inch, but if that heavier axis of rain shifts just a little bit southward, in particular that setup Tuesday morning, we may have to up those totals a little bit, but I still think an average of 1 to 2 inches of rain, pretty common, but a few spots seeing greater than 2 inches, especially north metro on into the mountains of far north Georgia. And then we have warm weather to talk about, kind of a roller coaster pattern here, with temperatures very chilly Monday. Some folks staying in the 40s all day with a few sprinkles in the morning, but I think just rain in general really increasing as we get into the afternoon, becoming steadier as we get to about lunchtime. But yes, there's going to be a little bit of rain around tomorrow morning as well, but the focus, the widespread rain holding off, I think, until we get into our Monday afternoon, early evening. Tuesday, wettest in the morning through about lunchtime, and then as we get into the mid-late afternoon and more so Tuesday evening, we're drying out. We're warming up to mid-60s. And then warmer Wednesday at 71, 76 Thursday. We're approaching record high temperatures for the afternoons and record warm morning low temperatures. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday mornings. Friday, slight rain chance, mostly dry though. I think most miss out on that particular rain setup. There's a 20% chance of showers. That's along a front. It turns quickly cooler into the weekend, back to lows upper 30s, 40s, and back to highs in the 50s and lower 60s for our Saturday and Sunday. And as this busy, kind of active weather pattern continues with storm systems every few days, next rain chance, and this one looks more significant, kind of like our Monday, Tuesday setup, but maybe moving through a little quicker, and it arrives Sunday with yet another front that's going to keep some of that chillier air in place as we get into early next week. All right, I want to thank you for joining. Appreciate everyone tuning in and watching. A reminder, we are back on this evening, Atlanta News First, 9 p.m. Also, our 10 o'clock hours on Peachtree TV, the 11 o'clock half hour back on Atlanta News First. We'll be tracking radar, seeing where it's raining at that point. I'll have some fresh data to show you for that Monday and the Tuesday morning commute forecast. So feel free to tune in. If you're away from the TV, you're on the go this evening, you're just plain old busy, no worries. We have that forecast for you at atlantanewsfirst.com and the news app and the weather app as well. I'll leave you with a look of that 7-day. Remember, 10-day is also available in the First Alert weather app. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your Sunday evening.